ॐ ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ नर्मदायै नमो प्रातः नर्मदायै नमो निशि नमस्ते नर्मदे देवी त्राहि मां भवसागरात्। आदौ ब्रह्माण्डखण्डे त्रिभुवनविवरे कल्पदा सा कुमारी मध्याह्ने शुद्धरेवा वहति सुरनदी वेदकण्ठोपकण्ठैः। श्रीकण्ठे कन्यरूपा ललितशिवजटा शङ्करी ब्रह्मशान्तिः। सा देवी वेदगङ्गा ऋषिकुलतरिणी नर्मदा मां पुनातु। ॐ समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Hरि Om, salutations to all. Welcome to the last satsang on this series, Narmada Parikrama. So, Narmada literally, one of the meanings of Narmada is Namrita iti Narmada, one who does not die. Meaning one who is eternal, who is immortal, is Narmada. As a girl, she had done tapasya for 1,000 years, attained the boons from Bhagavan Shiva. In that she had asked that I should be eternal. So Narmada Puran, which is the Reva Khand of Skanda Puran, is called Narmada Puran. There it is mentioned that even when Pralay happens, Narmada remains, she doesn't get destroyed. And we know that from the spiritual standpoint, Vedantic standpoint, it is nothing but consciousness. And so, on Narmada banks, when one is doing the parikrama, one is worshipping Bhagavan Shiva, chanting Mother Narmada's name, Narmade Har, that has Narmada and Hara is Bhagavan Shiva. Together one is remembering both are eternal, both are consciousness, both are our true self. So on the parikrama, when we keep doing this chanting, people do, as I said, for various reasons, they get fulfillment of their desires also. But for us, as sadhu, sannyasis, we want to know the truth, realize the self, and have darshan of the Divine Mother, have darshan of Bhagavan Shiva. So with that bhav, one does the parikrama. And there are so many opportunities which come on the way to meet sadhus, etc., that we have already seen. But what happens also is when this last part of this parikrama, at least for me, this was last part because I started in Amarkantak. People who start at other places, they will complete where they started. I started from the source, so I have to go back to the source, which is what our whole evolution is all about. From the source we have come out, forgotten who we are. Again, we have to trace back, reach back that source, which is our true self. And so Amarkantak, the place itself is Amarkantak. The Lord who took halahal poison and retained it in his throat. So one legend of Narmadaji is that Bhagavan retained it in his throat, and hence it was very hot, and from that Narmadaji was born, from the perspiration. Sometimes it is said from the Ananda Tandav that he did, she was born. Whatever it be, the idea is she is an appearance of consciousness. We are tracing back. As I said, this time the journey was on the northern banks from the ocean to Amarkantak. So one is going back, one is tracing back. So for me, this phase was most Enjoyable also, challenging also, because one passes through forests, and one also sees, one has to be careful in this, because Narmada ji Swarup becomes very, in some of the places she is very thin, like a small stream she is. And very stunning actually, how she is in Amarkantak. As a small stream she starts, and then suddenly she becomes very huge in Amarkantak itself. Then ahead, Kapildhara, she flows down and keeps flowing, and then she becomes very small and thin, and they call that as a Bala Roop of Narmadaji. And so one has to be careful while passing through the forests that one doesn't cross the stream, because there are smaller other rivers also which go and meet her in the forest. So one has to be alert. Where is the main river Narmadaji? That main flow one should not cross. Now they have put jhandis and all that, so it becomes more easier. But it was beautiful this time. Also, in the time I did, it was in January. Challenges of fog and cold, extreme cold, and all were quite a few. One won't have visibility till almost 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning. Very less visibility is there. One keeps walking. And some people don't, they stay back. We will see one or two of them as we go along. But I had to reach by 15, so I was walking. It was nice to have you come out of your comfort zone, you walk in that, take a dip early in the morning at 5 in that chilling, biting cold, go and take a dip in Narmadaji, take bath, do the puja, get ready, walk in the mist. And then some places you are passing through the forest. Challenges are there of wild animals and all that is there. But keep taking the name of the mother and keep walking. So I'm going to continue from where we had left in Hathnor. We had seen about one Dandavat Parikrama Vasi who was a lady, and Hathnor is where we had stopped. So after Hathnor, we pick up, I think, last 15 days or so of the Parikrama this will be. This is early morning, about 7:30. We are still, see, Amarkantak is on it's a hill station. It's the highest point as far as Narmada Parikrama is concerned. So as we keep going up, it becomes more and more cold, and more mist and all that will happen. But these mornings are most amazing. When we walk on the banks of Narmada Ji, there is sun, there is fields on your left side, Mother Narmada on the right side, Surya Bhagwan above. Most amazing, peaceful, lovely to do sadhana. See, this kuti is a very nice kuti. It is entirely made up of only those, it is called Parna Kutir. So only wood and that hay and some of the bamboo sticks. That's all. They erect the whole thing temporarily on the banks. They have created this, and in the monsoons and floods, etc., this gets swept away. They again rebuild every year. They build, and this is temporarily created by the villagers for this Seva of Parikrama. See here, such a nice, this whole thing, if you see, I just love that kutia. If you go inside, it's very cool. Outside is quite hot. Inside they have put mud plaster and all that. Amazing. This is a unique Shivling. See what we learn in Vedanta, no? That Ishvara is, so Virat is that all the gross bodies put together is Virat, all subtle bodies put together is Hiranyagarbha, all causal bodies put together is Ishvara. This Shivalinga is being made like this. With all different stones. So it is not one stone. So both types of forms we have. Some places you will see the entire temple is made from one, what we call rock, monolithic structure. 1 minute. This went away. So entire temple is made from one rock, and then the linga, etc., also will be made from one stone. That is one type. Here is this. It is a very nice ashram run by one Maharashtrian. He is a brahmachari there, and Janaki Ghat. There, no, Janakpur. Sorry, not Janaki Ghat. Janakpur. There, this beautiful, very creatively has done. All various stones are there in this, and his whole Shivlinga is made up of only this. Which is what Vedanta says. No, we are. This is the entire Srishti. Each jiva is a part of this samashti. It's a very nice one. One night we stayed there. See this. How vast is this Narmada? So many mornings we just spend time on the banks, making the mind quiet. See this picture, video and all can't capture the beauty of this. Right? One has to go there. See, like this, Pagdandis will be there. You are able to hear? This you are able to hear me, but this audio, the sound of the video, you are able to hear? No. Again, same problem. I don't know why this keeps happening. Give me just 1 minute. Yeah, so this is where you are able to hear now the sound of the video. Okay, so that was one river that we crossed. Here is a very nice temple that we come across. This is a Rajarajeshwari Mandir. So this Rajarajeshwari Mandir is one South Indian Swamiji has created this in Hirapur. Beautiful mandir of Devi Rajarajeshwari, and lots of people visit. And he has made it down. There are various murtis of Bhagwan Ganesha and Kartikeya and Shivalinga and other devis. And up there's a beautiful murti of Rajareshwari Devi. Down there's a very special Shivalinga which is 5 heads in the Shivalinga. Panchamukhi is in the Shivalinga itself. So this is Hirapur. This is the mandir. Shri 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 Hirapur वाले स्वामी श्री स्वामी जी महाराज की तपोस्थली श्री राजराजेश्वरी मंदिर Sri Kailash Kuti Hirapur. He is making one in Lucknow also somewhere. That's what they told me. So this is that, and this is a Shivling, beautiful Shivling. This is. See this, how nice. Full Panchamukhi. Earlier I showed you 4, no? In that place, which is that place where this Ranga Avadhut Swamiji's, Ranga Avadhut Baba's ashram was there, near Kevat ashram. There, once in 12 years in Adhik Shravan, the Mela happens. I forget the name. Anyway, so that was with 4. This is 5. Lovely Shivling this is. This is the Rajarajeshwari Devi, very divine Murti. If you look at the face, it will be as though she is there, right there, sitting there. And again, timing is perfect. I reached there in the afternoon, and the Aarti just started after we finished our lunch. They did the Aarti before they closed the part. So it's around 2 o'clock. This is the Shri Chakra in the 3D form. That's like a Shri Yantra only, properly made into the structure, and right opposite the Rajarajeshwari Devi's Murti, this is also there. So they worship both, they do the Aarti of both. This is a very nice thing I saw on the way. This is a machine which cuts the entire sugar cane. It uproots from the field once the sugar cane has grown properly. It uproots it, takes it in, makes pieces of it, removes the green part, which is the top part, the leaves and all that, and only the sugar cane, and it cuts it, everything in like half a minute. Fat, everything. The whole field is cleared in half an hour. Entire sugarcane field, which thousands of people may be required sometimes to, clear it. This finishes it very fast. Look at this. I couldn't get a proper angle of this, but it just most amazing it was to see. See that? On one side, the green leaves come out. On the other side, the cut pieces of sugarcane they keep getting collected. Our farmers are also very advanced. This is Barman Ghat. Very beautiful is this island in between, and there's a nice Hanumanji's big murti there on the side, and Narmada Devi's mandir also is there on that. So when we do parikrama, of course, we don't cross because this is Narmada Ji and it's on that side. But otherwise, Barman Ghat, if one goes, one should cross over and go to that temple. Very beautiful mandir. See there. This is the Hanumanji here. Earlier, when we were on that side, the Dakshin Tat, we had seen from there. Oh, very divine Murti, Hanumanji. This is the Narmada Mandir. When we came here, Siddhashram is there, so we had lunch Again, by afternoon 3 or something, I reached here. So last Pangat was going on, had the lunch. One group which was there, which had met me earlier in this, after we cleared the Lakkadkot Jhadi in Pamakhedi, that group was having someone professor from Pune, one lady, and she couldn't walk. She didn't want to walk actually. They should have just hired a vehicle and gone. But they didn't hire a vehicle. They wanted to go on asking people on the way to help for help and take the vehicles, and they kept going that way. So her husband and the group which was there, they said, अभी आगे का रास्ता तो बहुत खराब है, चल के जाना बहुत मुश्किल है. सुबह को जो लोग गए थे वो मुझे फोन करके बताए वो फंस गए हैं, अब कुछ ना कुछ करना पड़ेगा हमको. और यहाँ से अगर हम हाईवे के रास्ते से जाएंगे तो इट इज वेरी फार, 100 से ज्यादा किलोमीटर बढ़ जाता है, किनारे किनारे तो फंस जाता है आदमी, पता नहीं अब मैं क्या करूं. All this is cooked up story, huh? Nothing is true in this. Yes, highway road will be, if they take highway and go, it will be more, there's no doubt. But this person basically wants a vehicle. So I asked the person who was in the ashram, who was managing the ashram, I said, आगे का रास्ता कैसा है? बोले नर्मदा जी के तट पे आप चले जाओ, कोई परेशानी नहीं होगी आपको, माँ आपका सब ध्यान रख लेगी. So we went 3:30 or something, we started walking till about almost 7 o'clock and reached this place after, there's one place called Choti Dhuadhar. So this Choti Dhuadhar, it comes at Kundi village. Yeah, means near Kundi village it is. So Dharampur and all that we cross and then come to this Kundi village. By 7 or something I reached there. Choti Dhuadhar is only half an hour from there, but it has again become very dark and misty and all that. So stayed back in one village, like a common, like they have a gym, inside there's a small gym and outside there's just a veranda. So we all stayed there and I was doing the puja, Narmada Ji's puja in the evening. This small group of children came running. So amazing, these small children, they came. See here, this is Barman Ghat and we keep walking on the banks, keep going. All these children, they came and they sat down for the puja. See, look at them. They all are tribal children. They're just looking at me. I was taking a video. I finished the puja. Then I wanted to take their picture. Just looking at that phone and looking at me, they are just laughing away. Full puja, they sat quietly. I made them offer the rice, etc. when we're doing the archana and all that. So everything they sat beautifully, no restlessness, nothing. Happily they sat, did the whole puja nicely, and then gave prasad to all of them. They're so happy. 3 baar. This is the place. So there's a veranda. We stay outside there, and some Parikramawasis they were staying inside because outside is very cold. Night and all it becomes shivering. It'll go temperature will go 10 degrees, 9 degrees. As I said, that all that is a part of one sadhana one goes through. And these villagers there, we had a nice satsang in the evening. And one gentleman, he was saying that, the path of the truth is not easy. Even to speak the truth, people hesitate. And those who are walking the path and bhakti, if you want to develop, you must have self-control. If you don't have self-control, how will you develop bhakti? All that very nice, educated, spiritually having good foundation. Very good satsang we had. And I enjoyed that stay that night there. And next morning, again, left by around 6 o'clock. And that walk, the most, what do you call as cold, not cold, most where the visibility is not there, you can't see only anything much clearly. So visibility is not even like 2 feet. Your hand you can't see sometimes. It is like that. So when I was walking through and came to this place called Choti Dhuadhar. Choti Dhuadhar. So Dhuadhar Falls, if you remember on the Uttar Tat, when Dakshin Tat, when I was coming, we had shown Dhuadhar Falls are huge. Narmada ji flows massively. There's a nice, great waterfall and the marble rocks. Through the marble, the Narmada ji is flowing. That is the Dhuadhar. This is the Choti Dhuadhar. Again, there are small rock formations, not as big as the Badi Dhuadhar, but Narmada ji flows through them, cutting across these rocks, and lot of sound beautifully she makes. So morning we were walking and came and sat at this Choti Dhuadhar. By then little bit it has cleared, but this was like most mysterious type of a walk. We don't know what is only in the front. Walking. Came and sat down for, I didn't want to leave that place. I said, I want to see Narmada ji here properly, because at one point I can only see mist. I can see my feet, I can see this body here, but I can't see anything else, only mist. And with the sound of Narmada ji flowing, we are making out the direction passing through the field, and we went and sat there. Some of the Parikrama what they do, very interesting is this one point. Because it is cold in the morning, so the Parikrama what they will do, they will not take bath. Now, if you don't take bath, you can't do the puja. So what they will do, they will wait for the sun to rise, for the mist to clear. So they will get up early morning because they want to walk. So they will get up early morning, quickly wash their face, and they will start walking. Then they will come at some point where they have the Narmada ji is there, or any other facility to take bath is there. Then by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, something, they will take bath. Then they will sit and do the puja. I said, this and all doesn't work for me. I have to get up in the morning, however cold it is, take bath, do the puja, then only leave. This doesn't fit in my head that any time in the day I will sit and do the puja. No, a vrata is taken, we have to follow it properly. So morning, evening, puja has to happen. And so they came and they sat down, and the place there is beach sand there. It is proper beach sand, and you have seashells and all that. So one is walking through all that and then came and sat. This is Choti Dhuadhar. Just see. This is after some 20 minutes of sitting there, this video is taken. Otherwise, there is no visibility, can't see anything. See that. Look at the mist there. That sand, what you see, that all that is beach sand. From where that beach sand has come there? It's come. This is actually the Choti Dhuadhar, where you see those dark formations here. These are all the stones through which Narmada ji flows actually. We can't go up there because the mountains are steep there, but otherwise there are lots of them, and through them she flows, which is the actual normal flow of Narmada ji. And now that also they are blasting, and they are making some whatever, place for stay, and whatever they are doing, something they are doing on the opposite side. So I was sitting there on these banks here, and you see these small children here. Some of them are locals there. So they are, there's a boat in which they were going, small, this one, you see. And he wants to go to the center of that place. Suddenly there's a blast in the river. Thop! Massive blast. I'm standing here, I'm sitting here. Blast has happened right in the front. And luckily this boy had dropped his brother or his friend, whoever it is, on the opposite side of the rock, and he came. So he didn't get hurt or anything. But then I didn't know what was happening. Why was there a blast there in the water? Then I understood that they are doing some mining or something they are doing there, and they are blasting these rocks. And so one of them was there, the whatever that rock they had tied something to that, and so it blasted. And in the water there was massive blast there. But this place is absolutely divine. See, this is how it looks after 1 hour. So I waited there 1.5 hours. Still there's a mist, but it was nice to see. She flows amidst all these rocks. She will cut across and flow. Narmada Ji. This is actually how Narmada Ji is. Now because of the dam, they have made it all looks very peaceful and calm everywhere. But otherwise, she's a very dynamic river, passing through two mountain ranges, Satpura and Vindhya. She flows between them. And obviously lots of ups and downs and all that. So she is a dynamic river, and that's how Shankaracharya ji wrote also that Narmada Ashtakam. This is Choti Dhuadhar. One can actually stay one day there. It's so beautiful, this whole place is. Then walked and came ahead, came to this. This is a very nice mandir again. This is in Dhumgad. So what is the significance of this mandir you see? So this is Govinda Bhagavad Padacharya ji. Shankaracharya ji met him here, is what the Shankaracharya of Jyotirmath, Swami Swarupanand ji, who is right now Avimukteshwaranand ji, the Shankaracharya, his guru, Swami Swarupanand Saraswati. He said that he found some proof and all that they have displayed there, that actually this is a place where Shankaracharya ji had met his guru. Now traditionally we say it is Omkareshwar, and there the mandir also is there. He has put up something here. It was nice. Now what happens is many Parikrama they don't see the Tirtha sthans which are on the banks, which one should visit. Parikrama is not just walking around Narmada Ji's banks. Parikrama is to visit those sacred temples, sacred places, and caves and various other ashrams, etc., while one is going on the way. So the group which was with me, one group of 4 people, so we will meet in some place where we are staying together, then each one will leave at their own time. So they rushed ahead in the morning, went further. This temple is visible actually. On the banks, when you walk, you will see the temple. But Parikrama many of them, they will have a target. They will say, today we have to reach here. So they will just walk and reach. They don't see. Unless there's some very important place or something that way, then they will see. So this was not on their list. Many Parikrama went ahead of me. They didn't come. People who were, some of them behind me, they didn't come. I had seen, I said, this is supposed to be a place where Shankaracharya ji met his guru. Okay, let us go. So went, found this very beautiful temple there. There's a whole stotram on Govinda Bhagavad Padacharya ji which is there. And then opposite the mandir on a small hillock, there is this murti of a Devi, and there are these 4 lingas. What are these 4 lingas? These 4 lingas symbolize the 4 mathas which Shankaracharya has established across the country. And there's a pujari who comes from the village nearby, and he does the puja there. So when I went there, he was there. So I luckily had darshan. He was completing the puja, and so I had darshan, and then he took me in the cave. There's a small gufa down there, very narrow. One goes down inside, and you see that. This is the sanctum actually inside in the gufa. One small lingam is there. It's a nice place, but very narrow, thin path towards it. And inside he showed this is Ganesh ji, this is Vedavyas ji, this is Shankaracharya ji, this is some 4 5 things he showed. Those are all rock formations, Shankha and all that he showed. So it was a nice place. Went there, sat for some time, chanted this Totakashtakam, and came back. This is Hirana Nadi. We crossed this Hirana Nadi, this Hirana and Narmada Sangam. This is. This is Narmada ji. Now, what you are seeing, that is Narmada. Look at that width. What is coming from the left is the Hirana. And this right side one, this is Hirana, that is Narmada. Both very big rivers. And then crossed it and came to this temple, very unique temple, where this Nandi is standing. See, this is why another thing happens on Narmada Parikrama. You find so many unique types of temples, and how many people have different types of bhav. And some of the temples are very ancient. This is supposed to be a very old temple, and if you see the Shivling, it is not in the center, it is on the side. And Nandi is standing. Khadeshwar Mahadev it is. Why is Khadeshwar? Because Nandi is standing. He is the Mahadev of this Nandi who is standing. So Khadeshwar Mahadev. And why is this linga not in the center? Because there was a cave earlier, and in the cave this lingam was there, and there was a Mahatma who used to take care of that cave and light the lamp, etc. And in 1926, some huge flood came, and that cave collapsed. And when they recovered, they removed all the stones and other things. The lingam was there, and they have built a temple around it. So the center of it is the place where the lamp used to be lit. So the lingam they have not touched. They didn't move, and so the lingam is on the side. So the beautiful mandir there, Khadeshwar Mahadev. Again, see this. Some of these places are where you will see little bit flow and dynamism. Otherwise, it remains calm throughout this place. That Mahadev is also called Hiraneshwar Mahadev because the place is because near Hirana Nadi, right? So that is a place. Correct. That is the place there. This is Joji Ghat, and near that Joji Ghat, from Joji Ghat, when we are walking, this is the flow of Narmada that you are seeing. Joji Ghat, then Gora Ghat. These are beautiful fields. You know, this mornings it used to be like this. Stand on the banks of Mother Narmada amidst the fields, watch the sun rising. Very beautiful it will be because we are walking the other side now. We are walking towards the east, so sunrise one will be able to see. Very peaceful. Nobody will be there. Aram se you just be there. Again, some dynamic flow of Narmada ji is there, some places. Now I came to a place called Anjani Dham. From here, these are again two very unique murtis of Hanumanji. You don't find them. Anjani Dham is again mentioned in the Puranas, and there is Aditya Tirtha also nearby. And this is Mother Anjana with Hanumanji in, she's holding Hanumanji on her waist. Anjani Dham this is. And this is Hanumanji in a warrior pose. You see, he is holding this. He has sword and shield and all that. And here people come to do some rituals, etc. They do, and those who don't have children, they come here. They have given the whole history of this, and Narmada Puran, some of the shlokas, etc. They have quoted also there, and they have put up a nice big temple has been made there. So we reached. That's on the highway. Now one part of it we are walking on the highway, because if you go on the banks of Narmada ji, then sometimes there's a danger of you crossing it, because she becomes thin in some of the places. So then walking through the highway, and we crossed a particular village, I forget the name, and it's just highway. There is no proper place to eat food. 3 hours went by, no proper food. It's already almost 2:33. Finally, we found this Anjani Dham, and we went inside. There was a birthday party of some girl, which they were celebrating in the evening. So they said, आप रुकिए, भोजन प्रसादी लेकर ही जाइए. So we are sitting there thinking that they will give bhojan prasadi now. Then we figured out that they are talking about in the night. We had to walk. We said, we can't wait here for that. And they gave some nice fruits or something they gave, worship Bhagwan, and went. Again went, 3 o'clock we walked, 3 o'clock we reached there, about 3:45 or so, started walking. Reached by evening, and where did we reach? We reached a temple which is called Ramayana Mandir. And that Ramayana Mandir is that where there is Akhanda Parayan of Ramayana happening. Tulsi Ramayana Akhanda Parayan happens, full day and night, 24 hours in that temple. They have put the shifts, and the devotees come at the right time, and they will sit, chant for 1 hour, 2 hours. Again, somebody else will come, full night, it goes on. This you will see in lots of ashrams. Ramayana, Ram Dhun will be going on, or Akhanda Ramayana Path will be going on, or some few hours in the day, the Ramayana Chaupais, they are sitting and going on, chanting, and loudspeaker will be there. People will be able to hear. Lot of bhav and shraddha people have. And what Tulsidas ji has done, that the role that Tulsi Ramayana has played in revival of Sanatan Dharma is very, very crucial. Especially remember 14th century Tulsidas ji. All the attacks of the Mughals and all that is happening. In that time, what gives strength to people, Tulsidas ji writing this in Awadhi Bhasha. Otherwise, it is there in Valmiki Ramayana in Sanskrit. Not everybody is able to read all that. So on the Narmada Parikrama, lots of temples I found. One is Shiva temples are massive, so many are there. Second is Tulsi Ramayana part goes on happening, and many temples of Bhagavan Ram and Hanumanji. So many places they will just put one stone, and on that you will have Hanumanji. They will carve out the eyes and put the sindoor, Hanumanji, Ganeshji. It becomes. So this was Anjani Dham, again a very unique place, beautiful, peaceful place. From Jabalpur when we go, this will come on the left side, on the Jabalpur road. This is after Bamni, 10th January, going from Bamni towards Amarkantak. Again, very misty. Absolutely everything is in mist. The front, the back. See, when we walk like this now, sometimes vehicles come, we don't know. Sometimes vehicles come from back, from the front. And mornings in the villages starts very early. That's another thing. They will start early morning. They start putting out the chanting of various, some bhajans or some stotrams or, Tulsi Ramayana. It goes on. 4 o'clock almost they will start. So one challenge one has on the parikrama is if some places like Akhanda Rama and Parayan and all that happens, sometimes one finds it very difficult to sleep because full time this Parayan is going on. So, and I'm a very light sleeper. So any disturbance comes, I'll wake up. So some places it is that challenge also is there for the sleep. This is a very nice seva that happens by this parivar called Samvedana Parivar. So after Jabalpur, there is a Narmada Ghat route where there are ashrams, but not very easy route. And also, as I said, some places there is a Narmada tributary going. So then Parikramavasi don't want to cross that. That is their bhav. So many of them don't take, they will go through highway. And again, as I said, banks and forests, some of them are challenging. So highway where is available, some people walk through that. But challenge on highway, as I said, there is no proper food available. So this Samvedana Parivar runs one nice service where every day they have his mobile service where they give breakfast and lunch to the Parikramawasis on the way. Some 100 kilometers from Jabalpur, they go up and down, and wherever they find Parikramawasis, they will give them breakfast or lunch. So that day we were walking. This is the day where 38 kilometers we walked, and no proper ashram on the way also. But Samvedana Parivar gave the lunch packet. So we came and sat in one shop while having that lunch there. Almost like 2 o'clock or something there. यहाँ पर हम हजारी गांव के आगे बैठे हैं जी। ये संवेदना परिवार ने एकादशी इट वाज किया है और ये महाराज जी हैं भाई साहब ने Lamban Singh, his name is Lamban Singh. See, he is a simple, humble shop owner. I went and just sat there. Nothing I had to ask him also. He just brought straight away one, this paper which has this mixture, which has laddu. Happily came and just gave. They feel so happy just to serve. Is Lamban Singh. This gentleman, he runs one ashram. This is his house only actually. He runs this for the people who are doing the parikrama. He hosts them. His father was doing it. So he continues that tradition. He doesn't have enough money for himself also. But sometimes he asks bhiksha and people will give him some rice, some dal, whatever they give. He brings. He asks bhiksha for our bhiksha. And then he feeds the Narmada Parikrama Vasis. See that? These are the people, when you meet them, one feels so humbled. What all seva people are doing. He goes and asks people. He has even taken a loan of some 20,000 to provide some facilities, and slowly is figuring out how to pay and all that. There are such people who are there. This is Anjani, not Anjani, Banjari Mata Mandir. So this Banjari Mata Mandir, about 5-7 times in the whole parikrama it will come. This was the last time it came. What happened was very good. I met the sadhu who was taking care of this Banjari Mata Mandir. He was there at that time. So I was asking him कि बंजारी माता मतलब कौन? He said, अरे बंजारी माता आपको नहीं पता? बंजारी माता मतलब सीता मैया. मैया वन में गई थी ना, और फिर उनको जब भगवान राम ने वापस वन में भेज दिया. First she went with भगवान and then later on भगवान sent her when she was pregnant. So he said वो वन में भेजा था ना, वो वन की माता ही सीता माता ही है बंजारी माता. I was thinking it is a local, like the Gram Devata, like a Devi or a Devata. But this is Sita ji only. Banjari Mata is Sita ji. I said, wow. See the connections people make. We didn't know only. And this 34 years with Akhanda Jyoti is going on there from 88. Now comes the most amazing part. In this last phase, he is Ramesh Vairagi. Ramesh Vairagi is a Dandavat Parikramavasi whom I had met in Handwa in 2022. 2022, when I had done the Narmada Parikrama on the Dakshin Tat in Handwa, I had met. If you see my videos of that first season, in that his video will be there. Handwa on the Dakshin Tat I met. He has finished the whole Dakshin Tat, covered the Uttar Tat, crossed it, covered the Uttar Tat, and he has come up to this place. Is Bijhauli. Bijhauli is the place where I met him. And most amazing was this. I could have stayed in Bikrampur. It is 2 kilometers away, okay? And that is the same day that I told you, 38 kilometers we had to walk. So early morning I started, walk. I would have stayed happily in Bijhauli, in this place, Bikrampur, but something was telling me, no, go, you have to reach Bijhauli, there's a Durga Mandir there. And people had told me that Bijhauli Durga Mandir, Yuva Mandal is there and they take care of the Parikrama-vasis, you can go there. Bikrampur also, they were telling us, you up ruk jao, because it was night, almost so it is 6 o'clock, but it has become dark. So they said, you stay back. I said, no, I have to reach Bijhauli. By 6:30 or so, I reached Bijhauli. That time this bhajan kirtan was going on, finished all that, settled down. And there is this small kutia in that very temple complex, and I met Ramesh Vairagi there. When I met him there, I said, I have seen him somewhere. Then they said he is doing Dandavat Parikrama. And when I saw his face properly, I said, Arey, he is the one I saw in 2022. I was telling you how Narmada ji fulfills desires. Remember, I said earlier in one of the satsangs that when I did this third phase, I was thinking that maybe some Parikramavasi who was doing Dandavat Parikrama, maybe I may meet him on the way somewhere. This is the person I met finally. Anayas, effortlessly. That day, if I had to reach on that place, it is because I needed to meet him. Because I needed to meet him, there is a pull inside that go there, go there, go there. He has been staying there for 4 days, okay? Because of the because of the mist and the time in which one can walk now is the daytime. And here it was almost 11:30, lot of fog, mist, one doesn't get cleared, and he was feeling uncomfortable to walk. So he stayed back 4 days. Next day, he was to leave. This was the last night he was staying there. I had to meet him that day. It was very amazing. Listen to him. And there was no food facility. People had said that the Yuva Mandal takes care, etc. But the Yuva Mandal was not there on that day. So there was no food. After 38 kilometers you walk, you reach there, food is not there. I said, okay, whatever Narmada Ji's grace, if she feels no food, no food. But then one devotee comes. And there is some facility you can cook also, but there is not enough material for cooking and the cleaning and all that and vessels and all that. So finally he called from his relative's house something and food definitely came. So then whoever were there, some of us, we had the food. Other Parikramawasis have already gone to sleep because no food and they sleep early. And that was Ekadashi day, I told you, that morning Samvedana Parivar has given Ekadashi. So people don't want to eat also. And so many people actually thought that because it is Ekadashi, Parikramavasi will not have food. So the Yuva Mandal didn't bring only the food. But not everybody does Ekadashi, and I was not doing Ekadashi because you can't walk 38 kilometers and not have any food or just eat some fruits and all that. So I was okay with whatever comes. When I sat here, we were talking. Then the devotee made some arrangement. हमको कोई दिक्कत नहीं, हमको भोजन नहीं होता तो भी हम तो आराम से सो जाते, कोई टेंशन नहीं। He has this whole rath in the Narmada ji is there, and he drags it with him. He does the puja and all that. नहीं, दक्षिण तट में हरसुद में हम आपको मिले थे। हरसुद, नॉट हंडवा, सॉरी, हरसुद, या। अभी आप पूरा उत्तर तट करके इधर तक पहुंच गए, वाह। अभी तो ये उत्तर में चल रहे हैं ना। नहीं, हम उनको दक्षिण में मिले थे। दक्षिण में हरसुद में हम मिले थे। अब उनका दक्षिण पूरा हो गया ना, उत्तर भी कितना पूरा हो गया। अभी तो जबलपुर से अभी तो इतना अमरकंटक तो कितना 200 किलोमीटर है ना, बस देखो 5 किलोमीटर पहले कहते 5 किलोमीटर एवरी डे ही डज 5 kilometers. Remember that Dandavat Parikrama Vasi Mataji, she was doing 2 kilometers a day. He is doing 5 kilometers. He has been in military and he has been actually a Hamal. He says he's been Hamal who carries weight and all that, and solid, his body is very strong. 5 kilometers a day of Dandavat. And he drinks only tea and biscuit he eats in the day. Proper meal he will only eat in the night. And some nights like this, that food also is not there. अरे अभी सुबह तो 8 बजे 9 बजे तक भी कोहरा पड़ा रहता है और शाम को खुला आ जाएंगे। See that 12 बजे तक भी नहीं खुलता है। That's why he is staying there 4 days. You are staying there only. बहुत ज्यादा है। आप कहाँ चले थे स्वामी जी? हम आप बमनी से चले हैं। 38 किलोमीटर हो गया आपका। कितना? 38। Finally, this devotee you see on the right side, this gentleman, he had got some food, and we all had some food. This is the picture of Ramesh Vairagi. 1 minute, huh? Yeah. This is a picture of Ramesh Vairagi in 2022. This is what he was doing in Harsud. This is what he is doing now. Full, he has already done this much. Just see. Almost 2 years. That also is very fast actually, because 5 kilometers a day is not easy to do. And then he has stayed for Chaturmasi, they will stay. So 3 Chaturmasas he already finished. 4 months they will stay in particular ashram, they will not move. They will do sadhana and all that. In that, within 2 years, he has finished from Harsud, covered the whole thing and came up to Vijauli. 90% it is over. And do you know one sad thing is, when he goes to some temple, some of the pujaris will tell him, यहाँ पर रहने की व्यवस्था नहीं है, 2 किलोमीटर चले जाओ, मिल जाएगा. अरे, he can't go 2 kilometers like this. He has to do by Dandavat. They think that नहीं, आप खींच के चले जाओ, वहां पे आप रह जाओ, फिर वापस 2 किलोमीटर चल के आ जाना, दंडवत यहाँ से शुरू करना. So he was little irritated with that, saying कि ये गांव वाले अब समझते नहीं है, और मैं माँ को ये कह रहा हूँ कि हम परिक्रमावासियों के लिए कुछ तो व्यवस्था होनी चाहिए कि गांव में हम रह जाएं चुपचाप. In the mandir we should just be allowed to stay. Why are they not allowing us to stay? We don't want anything from them. Just let me stay here. So he was a little disturbed with that. But think about that also, that how people are very casually, they say, यहाँ व्यवस्था नहीं है, आप चले जाओ. और he is not asking anything. He is just asking, let me stay, that's all. And one place they got police also. And police was hitting him, saying that we have seen enough dhongis like you, and what is your agenda? Why do you want to stay and all that? Like that also people are there. They don't appreciate the sadhana that this gentleman is doing. See, this is one other thing that happens. I'm showing all this because if anybody does parikrama, they will be aware of this. Some places, the parikrama vasis don't put off the light at all. Because if you put off the light, it becomes pitch dark. And then you can't see. Then you will step on somebody and all that. So sometimes they just put the light on. So the challenges you have are lights can be kept on. Mosquitoes will be enough and more. There will be people who will snore. Left and right, you will have people who are snoring away to glory. It's not one person, two people. Sometimes it is 5, 7 people, each one of them snoring away. So sleep is a big challenge. And after hard days walk and work, etc., one may fall asleep for a short while, but again one gets up then because the snoring is terrific. And then many of them have this bad habit of smoking. They will have this bidi or they will have ganja. Not ganja, what is that called? Tambaku. And they eat that chuna and all that they put and then they eat. That is one very terrible thing that Parikramavasi, some of them will follow. Even though we tell them, Kere, you are supposed to be free from all this on the way in the Parikrama, but some of them are very hopelessly addicted to it. They will eat, they will smoke. That becomes a challenge. This is one night, left and right, people were snoring away continuously. And lights are also on. You won't be able to hear clearly because it's not captured so properly, but this is a challenge. Now see this lady, Pusabai. She serves. अपना नाम बताओ माँ.
मेरे पुसाबाई नाम.
हाँ, अभी क्या करते हैं?
मेरे राम जी जब से पार हुआ एकादशी.
See what she says. मेरे राम जी जब से पार हुआ एकादशी को. I told you, na, they use only Hindu calendar. And her husband has died. See the expression she uses. मेरे राम जी जब पार हुए एकादशी को. From then, she has been serving Parikrama-vasis. That's all. That's her job. And there's a nice small Shivalinga nearby. And Hanumanji, she does seva there. She serves Parikrama-vasis, you see.
जब फिर मैंने मछली कुछ शरण में लग गया तो जो आते हैं तो चाह पानी करती हूँ गौ माता का सेवा है भूली बजरंग बली का सेवा है एक सेवा में लगी रहा बस मैया ने पार लगा दिया. नमदे हार मैया, नमदे हार मैया, चाय पी लो मैया.
See how humbly she calls Maya Chai Pilo Maya. She calls everybody as Maya. For her, everybody is Narmada Ji Swarup. And she doesn't have any big, feeling of insecurity or, who will take care of me, what will happen to me, my husband passed away. No grief, nothing. She is happily just serving. Look at her bhav. आप सबको मैया आप कहीं नहीं बुलाते हैं.
हाँ, मैया ने देखी है मैया. सब वही पार लगाती है.
वही पार लगाती है. तो आपका खर्चा पानी खाना पीना कैसे चलता है?
सब चला रही है मैया.
See, सब चला रही है मैया. Look at their surrender. 600. She gets a monthly pension, Vidwa pension of 600 rupees only. Full month, 600 rupees. And 5 kilos of rice.
5 किलो राशन मिल जाता है.
उसी में गुजारा चल रहा है. And she is serving Parikramavasi. She will give tea to everybody. She will call them. She will give some bhiksha. Look at her.
और मैया की सेवा कर रही है.
क्या बात है. बहुत ही बढ़िया. आप जो कर रहे हैं बहुत उत्तम कर रहे हैं.
और मैया आपकी इच्छा है मैया, आपकी आशीर्वाद है मैया. मैया नार्मदे.
See, these are people, when you see them now, how they live. Santosh, now you want to see, this is the face, you see. 600 rupees in the whole month and 5 kilos of rice. And she doesn't have any insecurity about what will happen to her, how she will take care of herself for whole month, nothing. And if anything, she says, Narmada Maya hi paar lagane wali hai, Narmada Maya hi sab karti hai. With so much of bhav, it was so amazing to just spend. She gave the tea. I don't drink tea, but I went and sat, I drank because this lady, what an amazing woman she is. Very good. And I saw her, how you just see in this video itself, people who are passing by, She is calling them. Narmade Har Maiya, chai pike jao, Narmade Har Maiya, chai pike jao. Full day she does only this. See, when we see in the scriptures, na, Santushta Satatam Yogi Yatatma Dridha Nishchayaha, some of them you will see like this. They are humble people. Their devotion to Bhagwan is amazing. These are people when we meet, our devotion gets kindled. And when we say na, that Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Yejana Paryupasate, those who continuously think of Bhagwan, Bhagwan takes care of their yoga and Shema. Look at this lady. She is one example of that or not. Full day she is doing only seva. She has nothing else to do. She has one daughter who is married and who stays some 15 kilometers ahead. But she lives here alone. She doesn't have any other means of livelihood. She goes on serving. Amazing lady. So this is Usabai. Then we go ahead. There was a very nice person I saw who was crossing his Narmada. Look at him. Is one tire only. His whole boat is one tire. one tube, sorry, not tire. Round tube. And amazing thing was I couldn't figure out how is he, because there is no oar, nothing is having. With his feet something is doing and the whole thing is moving. He's sitting in that, he's crossing Narmada ji. Lot of amazing things we see on the banks of Narmada when we are walking through it. Then we came to one place where it was very confusing where to go, because there are so many pagdandis there. Plain. Here we are in this vast field. How do we find the route? Nobody's around. Where to go. So on the way we will find some markers. So these stones which are painted white. Each place there will be some different type of marker. We have to find out, oh, here this is the way they have marked. Some places there will be no marking. Then one has to have some gut instinct and figure out, okay, possibly this is the route. Or listen to the sound of the river. Where is the sound coming from? Then go towards that side. Here they had painted these white stones. Then you find pagdandis and you keep moving. There are many pagdandis and one doesn't know which one to take. So this is the pagdandi which one has to take. This is how. Now you see this. You will see the Swarup of Narmada ji becoming smaller and smaller now. And she becomes thinner also in the quantity. The water will just spread. This whole water which you see here, one can just cross aram se. It will not even be, knee deep. Little above the ankle it comes. So a lot of villagers, they just cross. That's the temple way we had to reach there. For the afternoon, the stay was supposed to be there. They have all these stone formations, so the water will collect so that they can do some fishing. They can catch some fish. Otherwise, they are not able to catch. Beautifully she flows. This is where it is. She is very thin compared to in earlier places where she is vast and volume of water is also huge. Here it becomes thinner and thinner. Some of these places, a lot of grass has grown and passes through all these grass. Very tall height grass. This is a very nice practice I saw just little few days before, and then I saw again here. So some of the Parikramasis, what they do, whenever a tributary is there, which meets, not a tributary, sorry, whenever another river is there, which meets Narmada ji, they will sit on the banks of that and they will light one agarbatti or light one lamp before they cross it. So I asked them, why do they do that? You know what they answered? They said, they said कि नर्मदा जी की जटा, जो नर्मदा जी बहती है वो शिव जी की जटा से बहती है, तो कौन सी धारा कहां पर निकली है हमको क्या पता। तो पार करने से पहले हमको कहा है कि हमको पूजा करना चाहिए. सो दे विल पुट देयर saman down, they will take out the agarbatti or some lamp, they will light it, they will do the puja, they will ring the bell, then they will cross. This is the bhav. You see, what we learn in stories, for us it appears to be like a story. Okay, Narmada ji came from the jata. For these people it is real. They think like that कि अरे कौन सी जटा, कौन सी धार कहां से निकली और कौन सी नदी के रूप में बह रही है हमको क्या पता, हम उनको पार कर रहे हैं. So their bhav is the main flow of Narmada ji is there on this side, but this jata, this river has come from which part of the jata of Shivji we don't know, and it may be Narmada ji, who knows, it may be one amsh of Narmada ji and some other rivers joined with that. So they said हमको पार करने से पहले मैया की पूजा करनी है. This is their bhav. See, he's put one agarbatti there. Here he has put one agarbatti. And you know, this is not easy because every time you carry something, you have to put it down, again lift it, you will be very tired. So one will want to minimize that putting down, taking up, all that. But they don't bother about any of that. As many times it has to be done, they will do, because their bhav is, I have to worship, then only I will cross. See. This is how they see God in nature. They don't think of it as just some water and they're crossing a river, and their bhavana is this is divine. See how thin it is, but how clean the water is. Here the one loves to take bath, amazing, and no fear of crocodile, nothing here. Happily one takes bath here, amazing. This is the best part. You know, last 4 days of this yatra was the most amazing because Narmada ji's Bal Swarup also we saw, and also the clean water, pristine forests. Most amazing place. This is another fisherman who had this. That person didn't even have like this the stick or something to row. He was doing something with his feet only and he was moving. This person had at least this much. And you know, all these people, they subside, they live on this, either some fishing or some basic agriculture. That's all. There's nothing much there. Some woodcutters are there, so on forest wood. They live on that only. Some of these places are hot also because daytime there are no proper trees. You know, one is just walking. Very hot in the daytime, very cold in the nights and early mornings. Lovely birds. See that bird just standing on one leg. I just love the birds when they just fly and they go across Narmada Ji and they go straight, very gracefully they glide. This one afternoon, after hot one place, we just reached and just slept. Very tiring. Here is one sadhu, you will see now. I'll just tell you the name. He is from Tamil Nadu. I forget his name, I'm not getting it, but he was staying in this place. And he is from Tiruvannamalai in Tamil Nadu. He has done Giri Pradakshina many times. He stays there only. And so, why did he come here? Because people told him that you are a Shiva devotee, go and do Narmada Parikrama. So he has gone and he's doing this Narmada Parikrama. And he says many people don't know there, but I felt Annamalai sent me here. And now Annamalai is calling me that now when you finish the Parikrama, you come back to me and be here now. So he speaks Tamil. And this ashram is still getting built. He's a Parikramavasi. So we met there. He was so happy that I could speak to him in Tamil. And he has a mutt there in Tiruvannamalai. He said, you please come there. He knows Chinmay Mission very well. And so he said that I'm so happy to meet you. And he was very genuine, nice sannyasi, a sadhu. Beautiful. Now comes the last day, second last day. This is where this Amarkantak is in this area, which is called Achanak Mar Wildlife Sanctuary. What a weird name that is also. Achanak Mar, meaning you will die instant death, sudden death. Why do they even have to keep the name like that? But they kept. So I was doing some Google search about the route, etc. That is one thing one should always do. There is a route which is given, and like a traditional route which is there, and you should check it on the Google map also, so that some places there's a challenge, then Google comes to your rescue at that time, because further you don't know. In the route what they have given based on the time the route was made. Today the conditions would have changed. Some places fields are there, some places some dam is there, so one has to always check. And sometimes one should check there is possibility of a shorter route without missing out anything great. So one keeps checking. So I was checking. I said, Arey, what is this? Achanak Mar is the name of this wildlife sanctuary. And that is the day where 43 kilometers are left. In that, about 35 is the jungle. And it is not possible to cross 43 in one day, especially through jungles and all that. But there's some groups were saying, no, we will do it. And it's shortcut, we will do in 35 kilometers and all that. But there's no shortcut. I had seen through Google also, it is no way that you can avoid. It has to be, you have to walk 43. So we knew it is not possible to cross like that, 43. So we started that day morning and started walking. By 11:30 we have come to this place, and this is through the forest we came, and dense forest it is. Some places ahead there is no. So after this, at 11:30 we came to this place where this Nilkantha Mahadev Mandir is there. This is 2 kilometers inside. So there's a choice. Either you go 2 kilometers inside, that means you have to come back that much, or you go straight. So we found out that ahead there is, the ashram is very far. You won't be able to reach, and it is afternoon time. When I started walking at 6, is already 5.5 hours one has walked. So then walk, go to the Nilkantha Mahadev Mandir. But I tell you, one of the best places I have seen in the Parikrama is this. It was inside, and one place we lost the route also a little bit, and then again came back and then found the place. Very beautiful, serene ashram on the banks of Narmada Ji. You see this. All this I tell you, divine will only. Some people who were with us, they went ahead, they didn't want to come. Some four of us, 5 of us went inside here. We are going in there. All around are this dense forests and all these trees and all that. We have to pass through that. See, this is a beautiful murti of Ganesh Ji inside this temple, huge, big one. This is Narmada Ji. Look at her swarup here. She's not even like flowing. It's such a small little stream. But a very nice ashram on these banks. Very serene, peaceful place, quite inside. But two sadhus are living there. Some parikramasis come, many don't come, they go straight. See this, such a nice way. Quietly she just flows. This is the ashram. Still some things they are getting built, but a nice Nilkant Mahadev Mandir is there. This is Narmada Ji inside. As soon as you go, you will see Narmada Ji. Ganesh Ji outside, then Narmada Ji inside. And very creative. They have put up many things they have created, Shivji and all that. So this is a very humble place. They live here. It is open. So I asked them that wild animals come. They say, they come. Sometimes they come in the ashram also, and then sometimes they see us and then they run. And sometimes they come and sleep next to us. Fearlessly, they are living inside. He has created this Narmada Ji's altar, and then this is the Nilkant Mahadev, and he has put 12 Jyotirlingas around it. In various ways, people do worship of Bhagwan. It was nice to see so many people in their own way. They have the bhav. They do all this. They served a simple dal and chawal, and they will give namak. All the places where you go, they will always give namak with the food, because sometimes namak will be very less. Sometimes there is no sabji, na? With the namak only we manage. This dal that he gave was so good. He had put this dry mango, khatta mango this is. And what a tasty dal he made. No spice, nothing much. But this khatta mango made it all very tasty. The different things they have done there. Nicely has made this shivling. This snake has these two very shining eyes. Like this, there are many things in that ashram. Very creatively, they have made various places, the Bhagwan's depictions and all that. And this is the proper forest, and we are going through that. It was good to pass through these forests. Not very dangerous in that sense, because we didn't see too many wild animals there. Some places it is dense, sunlight doesn't come in. Some places it is like this, quite open, and so you have enough light there. But then, so you may feel that from anywhere some wild animal can come. And amidst all these, there is a whole family of tribal people staying there. And their children go to school 5 kilometers ahead. They come out of the forest, they'll go catch a bus, and then go to the, what do you call that, school, government school, something is there, and then they come back. They're living inside this forest. So we keep asking, is this the route? Because forest may, some places jhandis are there, some places it is not there. So we have to keep asking now which way to go. We keep asking also that, is this Narmada Maiya? Because then we should not cross. See, this is again Swarup of Narmada Ji. Very small and thin river. Finally, what happened? We reached this place in Damghad. Damghad, there's supposed to be this Ram Mandir. This file is missing. Ram Mandir, Ram Kutir, sorry. Now we have walked almost some 33 kilometers. Not 33, yeah. 35 kilometers we have walked. Reached this Damghad. Thinking that, okay, from Fari Samel, they said you go to Ram Kutir, you can stay there. So from Fari Samel, we walked, reached this Ram Kutir. You know that person there, it is 5 o'clock in the evening. Evening 5 o'clock, that time there means it becomes almost quite dark. That person said, नहीं यहाँ पर मत रुको, बहुत सारे लोग आते हैं, हमारे पास रहने को जगह नहीं होती है फिर. And he is telling me that yesterday some 4 people had to stay outside and वो बेचारे ठंड में जम गए क्योंकि इतनी ठंडी हो गई, हमको बुरा लगता है, आपको हम अंदर नहीं रुका सकते। वी सेड देखो हम अभी इतना चल के आए हैं, हमारे पीछे कोई नहीं है, होंगे भी जो हमारे साथ थे, जो सुबह को जहाँ पिछले रात को रुके थे, वो 5-6 लोग ही हैं। But they didn't allow us to stay at all. And honestly, we were little irritated that it is 5 in the evening, we have walked so much and come, and you just let us stay. We don't want anything, we just stay here. नहीं नहीं, आप बुरा मत मानिए, यहाँ से कपिलधारा सिर्फ 3 किलोमीटर है, आप पहुंच जाओगे, अभी तो आपके पास समय है, 5 बजे, he's saying समय है, it will be in the and it's forest route, na, it will not easy to walk, and animals come out in the night, and this fellow is saying you walk. It will be about 6 o'clock by the time we reach there, 3 kilometers to cover and go. He is not listening at all, so we got little irritated, and we said leave it, is Narmada Ma's will, now we go. So we left, walked. In between, we saw somebody doing Aarti of Narmada Ji. We thought that is an ashram where we could stay. There is no facility there. Actually, there were just some devotees who were doing some Aarti. Finally, at 6, we reached Kapildhara. And when we reached Kapildhara, immediately there is a Kapil Muni. This is Kapil Muni's ashram there. There is Kapil Muni's murti is there, and this is the Kapildhara. This is shot next day morning. But that night, so this is Kapildhara. So that night, when we reach there, there's a bhandara going on whole day, because one Kshipreshwar Bharati, his Samadhi day, his devotees were celebrating, and they were having bhandara from the morning, and bhandara was getting over in the night. So we finally went, and they called us, bhandara chal raha hai, jao pehle kha ke aao. We wanted to stay in this Kapil ashram. He said आप सामान लेके जाओ, वहां पे जाओ, खा के फिर यहाँ पे आओ, फिर रुक सकते हो. We said okay. And bhandara, we go and sit there. My God, what a bhandara that was. Puri came, 2 sabjis came, then 3 types of mithai came, then kadhi came, and some namkeen came, and they are just going on giving. And we are like in one place, they didn't allow us to stay, we got irritated. And here they are giving this bhandara. And unlimited supply, they are just giving so much elaborate food it was. We said, see that grace of Narmada Ji. Maybe she wanted us to eat bhandara here, so we didn't get a place to stay. But in the whole parikrama, there is not one experience like that where people didn't allow us to stay. Narmada Ji said, ye tumhara test hai, ye bhi le lo. We got that experience also, where people literally didn't want to make us stay. They wanted to let us go. They said, go. Literally, they pushed us out like that. Came to Kapildhara. Next day morning, went to this Kapildhara. This is a beautiful Kapildhara, which is just behind Amarkantak. So Kapildhara flows there, and lots of people go down there. And further down, if we go from Kapildhara, we come to this Dodhara. People call it Dudhara. It is not Dudhara, it is Dodhara, where Narmada Ji splits into 2. And there Durvasa Muni has done tapasya. So there is a whole chanting of Narmada Ji, where they say, it's a Hindi song, Maiya Amarkantak wali tum ho bholi bhali. Tere gun gaate hain sadhu baja baja ke tali. Maiya Amarkantak wali tum ho bholi bhali. So in that one line comes, जहां शिव शंकर करे तपस्या दोधारा के पास. That is this. So Dodhara, very serene, beautiful place, and there is a gufa there. Durvasa Muni's murti they have made there, and there's a lingam inside, deep inside. If you go in that gufa, there's a lingam. This is the place. Very nicely. So you see here, she flows. This is where she becomes 2. Dodhara ke paas. This is a kund. So they don't allow anybody to take bath in the kund down here. People take bath before that. This is the kund there. Now, this is the mandir there. In this mandir, this is the gufa inside here, this one. This is the kund. All these are saris which they have offered to Narmada ji, which they have tied around. So there's a nice murti of Durvasa Muni there. So we saw all that, did some pranam there. One very Narendra Swami, Narendra Baba is there. Very Tejasvi. He sits there. He manages this Kapil Ashram and this Gufa. Very Tejasvi, very bright face he has, and a very Sattvic person. Very polite and humble person. It was very nice to meet him. Durvasa Muni, he explained. He only told. When I asked him कि स्वामी जी ये किनकी मूर्ति है, then he said ये दुर्वासा मुनि है और ये जो आप लोग गाते हैं ना उसमें आता है दो धारा के पास शिव शंकर करे तपस्या. So Durvasa Muni is avatar of Shivji. And he is not like what popularly people think that he gives shrap and he is a very angry angry rishi. See, his anger is to bring out the glory of Bhakta, Bhakti and Bhagwan. Yeah, and he puts himself down for it in some of the episodes. You will see that way. So people may think lesser of him, but his objective is to glorify Bhakta, Bhakti and Bhagwan. In fact, in that more about the glory of Bhakta and Bhakti. So that. Now this is Meera Mai. At Kapildhara we find she is there. She is a very pious lady. In the first phase when we had started, before we started Parikrama from Amarkantak, we had met her. I'm very happy to meet her now. She has asthma and she is bedridden. Even that time she was. But lot of people have devotion for her. And her devotees are now building this huge temple there. Earlier it was only a terrace last 2 years before when I went. Now this beautiful mandir has come up there and they are still getting built there of this one of the forms of Mother Kali. You know, the donkey is the Vahan. Kalaratri. Kalaratri Mata, her murti they have set up there. And other deities also they are putting up. All different other forms are also being put up. And finally I reached this Amarkantak. On the way, this is the last day of walk from Kapildhara. Next day morning, walked towards Amarkantak. It is some 7-8 kilometers only. Again, this is Narmada ji, you see. She is such a small stream from Kapildhara. When we come down, all those places that you saw, Ramkutir and this Nilkant Mahadev Ashram and all that, very thin stream. But before that, it is huge. See this. This is Narmada ji. Massive. At Amarkantak. Then before we reach Mrityunjay Ashram is this Ramakrishna Kutir. Again, I tell you all this is such divine providence how Bhagavan arranges. My yatra started with Vivekanandji. In Raipur airport when we got down, that airport is called Swami Vivekananda Airport. So Vivekananda's murti is there in this famous pose where he's standing with his hands folded like that. Beginning of the yatra was that, ending of the yatra also is this. Beautiful murti of Ramakrishna, of Vivekananda in the Ramakrishna Math. Simple, nice temple up there, went, did darshan of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Sharda Devi, Vivekanandji. And that evening at Ram Ghat is the Arati. So this I reached on 14th. So reached on 14th there, stayed back that night and attended the Aarti, etc. Next day is 15th, the Sankranti day. So I wanted to complete the Parikrama on Sankranti day in the Uttarayan Kal. So attended this Narmada Aarti in the evening that day at Ram Ghat. And this is the Mrityunjay Ashram where we had stayed earlier. So this time again went back there. This is Narmada ji. This is not Shivji. This is Narmada ji with the Vahan Makara. She is standing. Beautiful is this Murti. This is Mrityunjay Bhagavan. This is at Mrityunjay Ashram. And then next day morning, the concluding puja on the banks of Narmada Ji. This is Amarkantak mein Ram Ghat pe. Now this is last day walk when one is behind Amarkantak Mandir is the Mai Ki Bagya, where she has played with her friend, and there's a small garden, and some people feel that Narmada Udgam Sthan is that. Temple says no, Narmada Udgam Sthan is there. So they have a conflict between them, but doesn't matter. We went there. There are bamboo shoots. From there, Narmada Ji originates, is what they show, and there are three small kundas which are there. So one does the parikrama. On the parikrama route, this Mai Ki Bagya also will come, and finally one comes into the Amarkantak Mandir. So this is the route where one walks. Lot of monkeys will be there in this place. Too many monkeys. One has to be very careful. Amarkantak, if you go, one should not put your hand in bag or anything. If they see you putting your hand in the bag and taking out something, they will feel the food is there. They'll come and attack you. They'll take your bag or all that. Just put your hands in the pocket. Quietly keep walking. That's all. Nothing they'll do. This is the Mai Ki Bagya, the mandir there. So they feel so this is the place where from the bamboo shoots the water comes and it is settled, it accumulates in this kund there, and further one more kund, three kunds are there. And when we finish that, go to Son Muda and see from there Son River goes towards the west, Narmada east, and Narmada flows towards the west. So one will see that. One won't see the place actually, but that's geographically that's the place. The whole legend is that that Narmada Ji was supposed to be married, and she sends her friend Son. The name of that person is Son Bhadra, to whom she is going to get married. She sends her friend Johli or Johri, I forget the name, it starts with J only, to see Son Bhadra, because she has not seen, so she wants to know how the husband looks. But when this Johila is the name, when this Johila goes to see Son Bhadra, she falls in love with him, he falls in love with her, they get married. So Narmada gets very upset, and so she flows towards the west. So there is Johila Nadi also, which there is a Jaleshwar Mandir where you see the source of Johila Nadi. Then there's Son Muda where Son Bhadra, so Son River. That's the only male river after Brahmaputra. Two male rivers we have. One is Brahmaputra, one is Son Bhadra. All other rivers are female. So this Son Bhadra moves towards the east and meets the ocean through Chhattisgarh and all that. And this Narmada Ji flows towards the west, goes to the Arabian Sea. She's very upset. So the Johila and Son Bhadra move towards the east. So that story they show there. So this is Mai Ki Bagya. After that Son Muda, and then you come finally to Amarkantak. So before we enter Amarkantak, this is the Adi Shankaracharya Ji's Mandir behind Amarkantak temple. Again, divine grace, went there. Last time when we went, so there's a Pataleshwar Shivji there in this Mandir. Shankaracharya established this apparently. And so last time when we went, we couldn't see, it was closed. This time we went in the afternoon, I reached. Luckily there was a pujari there. I requested him and he had opened that time only. Went down, had darshan of this Pataleshwar Mahadev, and came out. Went to other temples in that vicinity there, and finally came to Amarkantak. This is the Surya Devta, and this is Amarkantak, where this is the source of Narmada Ji, is what the Mandir people say. This is Narmada Ji there. So every day the Aarti, evening Aarti, etc. happens here. So that's where the Yatra concluded. This is the Kund, Narmada Kund. So this is the origin. So from where we started, came back to that, Parikrama got completed. Then we do the parikrama. After that, we drive to Omkareshwar. I drove to Omkareshwar because the tradition is after you finish the parikrama, you offer the jal to Shivji. So then you cross the Narmada. Mandhata is an island where Omkareshwarji is there. So Narmada water which one has carried throughout the parikrama, that water little bit we offer here in the in Amarkantak, and then little bit we offer in the Mai ki Bagya. Then we come to Omkareshwar, and there offer this Abhishek to Bhagwan Omkareshwar. And then we bring the balance back here and distribute to people. So when we finish that, then we complete also the parikrama of Omkareshwarji. After offering jal, 7 kilometers parikrama of Omkareshwarji on the Mandhata island. So this is Narmadaji from Mandhata island. After we cross, while I'm doing the parikrama, we see this. Beautiful it is at Omkareshwar. Then on the way, we see many things. They have put up all Gita shlokas. The entire Gita is en route in that 7 kilometers parikrama. They have carved on stone and they have displayed the whole, every shloka is there. And now recently, this beautiful murti of Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji in Bal Roop, he is 5 years old. 108 feet murti has come up there. And below this Advaita Loka is going to be created, one huge exhibition. So this was inaugurated. I was telling you, for this inauguration, I was supposed to go, and then suddenly I remembered I can't go because I have to cross the Narmada ji. So finally, I had darshan of Shankaracharya ji also after the parikrama got over. And it's on the way in Mandhata Parikrama, this will come. And this is beautiful. It's very nice, Shankaracharya ji is facing that side. The Omkareshwar Mandir is here. Shankaracharya is above. He's facing this side. So facing the side of the Mandir. And behind Shankaracharya, little ahead here, is Shivji, who is facing that side. So two sides of Narmada ji, because it's an island, two sides Narmada ji flows. One side Shankaracharya is overlooking, one side Shivji is overlooking it. Very nice. This is that big Shivji. And again a Devi Mandir below that. This is how they have carved all the shlokas of the Gita en route. This is the final darshan of Narmada ji at Omkareshwar. Bolo Narmada Maiya ki Jai. Narmade Har. This was my parikrama. Happened very beautifully with Bhagwan's grace. Completed it. Feeling very fulfilled and happy. And now and then I keep remembering the parikrama, the banks of Narmada ji. Maybe sometime if I have to go again, I will go. Because those days of sadhana, walking, being on the banks of Narmada ji, they are most inspiring. So again, the call may come. I may go spend some time on Narmada ji's banks, do some sadhana and come back. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. And it was nice to share these experiences with you. If you can try to do 1 day parikrama, which happens in Chaitra Mas, which is the Uttarvahini Narmada Parikrama from Tilakwada. It starts, you can walk and come back to Tilakwada. Around 30 kilometers only it is, and not very difficult to walk. Even in that 30, some of it is very easy to cross, and you cross a river also in that. So try to do that if you can. 1 day parikrama is possible. So you go on a Saturday and you come back by Sunday. You reach Tilakwada by Saturday evening, stay overnight. Sunday morning you do the parikrama. Sunday evening you come back and you drive back to Mumbai. By Sunday late night you'll be back. There are some groups who do it. You can find out more about it. Thank you. Hari Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. One thing is, when we come back, there's a tradition that we share what we know. So that satsang I have done. And also we do Kanya Bhojan. One can do there also wherever one completes, or one can do when one comes back. So we did that Kanya Bhojan 2 Sundays back, and 16 Kanyas were here, and we fed all of them, gave them some gifts. And the bhav is expressing gratitude to Mother Narmada for all her grace and blessings that this parikrama got over completely. So every Kanya, we have the bhav that she is Narmada ji in that form, and then we are serving her, and whatever best we can offer, we offer. So that is what happened. So that's how the parikrama then concludes. Thank you. Hari Om.